I'll say this. Flat earthers are some of the most intelligent people I've ever met in my life, which makes me question, is it really flat or is it really round? It makes me more confused because they're too intelligent to be crazy or to believe in a hoax. I'll say this. Flat earthers are some of the most intelligent people I've ever met in my life, which makes me question, is it really flat or is it really round? It makes me more confused because they're too intelligent to be crazy or to believe in a hoax. I'll say this. Flat earthers are some of the most intelligent people I've ever met in my life, which makes me question, is it really flat or is it really round? It makes me more confused because they're too intelligent to be crazy or to believe in a hoax.
So, and a planet is forming. It's formed by a planetesimal, which
cool
is
story.
large
Prove the Earth formed.
asteroids which are attracted to each other because of gravity, because they have mass. And eventually, you get more and more of these large asteroids and rocks coming together, and getting meteoroid impacts, and that causes a molten planet. And eventually,
tell me more. Hey, brother. I don't want to interrupt you while you're rolling, telling us about your religious creation stories. Go ahead.
Or because that liquid metal that's in the rock sinks down and becomes the core of the planet. And that metallic core is so much denser than the rock surrounding it. It has a strong gravitational pull, which shapes the resulting planet into a spherical shape, but it's not instantly a sphere.
Interesting. So you have a story about events that occurred in the past that you have no way to validate about the creation of the Earth. Sounds like a creation story to me, bro.
Dude, you're in here arguing in the flat Earth server, and I just asked you, do you think the Earth is flat, and that makes it unique to other planets in the solar system? And you can't even just say yes.
No, dude. The Earth isn't one among the. Hold on, friend. I'll explain it to you. It's very simple. You're trying to force your worldview onto me with that language, whether you realize it or not. You're not doing it on purpose. Don't get me wrong. So I'm not holding it against you. But none of us in here that are flat earthers think the Earth is a planet that's flat among many other planets that are other planets. None of us think that. We think the Earth is entirely unique. It's not a planet at all.
Whoa. Okay, what is it then?
The Earth. Duh.
It's not a planet, though?
Yeah, it's not a planet, dude. It's not a cosmological object floating in the sky, brother. Duh.
Do you have a definition of the word planet?
Dude, a planet's a wandering star, dude. There you go. That's what the word means, literally. You didn't know that? Now you know. Yeah, I know you're speechless because you didn't know that. The idea that planets are other little Earth-style balls or world-style balls that you can land on and walk around on, it's like, whoop-de-doo, dude. That's your worldview, not ours, necessarily. And even if it was the case that the other things are... Even if it was the case that other objects are whatever the heck they are, it doesn't change what the Earth is, dude.
Hilarious.
I know, it's hilarious that you can't comprehend that other objects being what they are doesn't make the Earth what it is. I know it's hilarious that you can't grasp that.
I have a question. Do you think dinosaurs are terrible lizards?
Junior, may I get in here quickly? I apologize to interject. I've been waiting for a while. I know you have to leave. I wanted to address something before you left out of courtesy for the room because you kind of left everybody hanging. Sorry, AI. I just want to take a minute.
We've been moving topics really quick, so.
Well, I'll let you go to your dinosaur thing right after. I just wanted to see if you can reconcile something. You see, at 10 minutes past the hour, I reposted a post that I posted above, but got lost in the sauce. Reposting your posts about what ChatGPT gave you in terms of values for the error margin, the drop, and all this shit. There are two photos there, and there's a discrepancy between the two. Which one is correct? Do you see that?
Okay.
Because the 1,000-mile drop is, or the margin of error is basically off by a factor of like 90, 85, 90, however you want to do the math.
Okay.
So, okay, you see it 10 minutes past the hour. You see, it says point number 3 at 1,000 miles, the spherical is 333,000 feet, 333,550 feet. You do some math, and you get a 99.87% error margin. In your other post, the spherical drop is 677,875.69 feet. You do some math, and you get a 1.65% error margin. Did you check your own fucking work?
Well, to be fair to him, it wasn't his work. He just asked ChatGPT to. So no, he wasn't possible.
That is true. That is true. But he didn't even double check his quote unquote source, right? He didn't back
I fully grant that you're probably right.
So when you come in here and say that using a parabolic approximation is total garbage because we're off by 100%, you didn't even verify that. So I request kindly that you retract that stupid claim.
Okay, I'll since you were polite, I'll do that, and I'll replace it by saying that it doesn't work because the shape of a parabola is very different from the shape of a circle or sphere. I'll replace my incorrect claim with that one then.
Bro, I understand that, but I hope you know that this is caveated with the term approximation, right? The use of the term approximation in and of itself is acknowledging the fact that it is not perfect, right? If you look at my little graph I'm going to post here, this is my work. I derived the entire fucking thing. You see the P, it deviates from f of x, and D shows a line and drops down to the parabola. You see there's a little bit of white space between the two, right? So the P actually gives you an underestimate of the drop. So like I was saying before, using this actually curries to your favor in a way because we're actually underestimating what the drop would be in reality, right? So it's even worse, and we still don't even get that. Okay? At your request, I can show you this work if you want, but it's still under review. So before that, I'm not going to publish it, quote unquote, or release it or whatever. But I can explain the entire process if you're interested.
I'm sure you could. If you want to discuss this further, feel free to message me or whatever, and we could talk more about this.
We'll come back anytime, man.
In this?
Yes, you see P? So P is derived from the function of a circle, right? So basically I take a Taylor expansion at the apex of the circle, and it basically fits the perfect parabola whereby the P touches the circle at 0 and radius r, right? So there's only one intersecting point. The rest is basically, that's where it deviates at all other points. So it's as perfect as it can get without having more than one intersection. And the result is something like this. This is in the most general form. Later on, you see in the photo, I actually plug in some values, and that's where we actually get the 8 inches per mile square. Or this is one method by which we can get that. And this is actually again in your favor because it's an underestimate of the drop.
Yeah, but what? Hold on. I think I missed you telling us the quantities of 1,000 miles. What'd you get for 1,000 miles?
Well, I didn't do the calculation myself. I was just looking at his, and I was just pointing out in his, right, at 1,000 miles, in one of his thing, it says it's off by 100%. So, the thing is like, undershooting it by like a lot. And the other one, it's only off by 1.65%. So which one is correct? He retracted it because he acknowledged he didn't actually check his work or check the work. One is 300 and something thousand.
I understand that, but you said you derived it yourself. So what value did you get at 1,000?
Okay. I derived the mechanics. I didn't plug that one in yet. I only derived the function.
Okay.
8 inch per mile squared, so eight times 1,000 squared, which is roughly what he got in one of them, right? But it seemed like he had a point in contention, so I wasn't sure which one he was actually arguing for or against. Right. So the one in my calculation, would closely approximate the second one. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
I was just saying that I fully grant you that I've likely made mistakes in this discussion, and I'm not very good at math. I grant you
Thank you
that.
very much.
But,
Well, I appreciate that. Anyway, please
oh, and
continue. I didn't want
I
to
don't know
take
how
off
to
too much time.
pronounce your username, but I sent you a friend request or whatever because I have a
Call me
Discord
Mike.
server. If maybe if you want to talk about this further, we can. I'll come back to the servers on another day.
Thank you. Call me
Hey,
Mike.
I got an idea. I got an idea, bro.
I stayed out of courtesy to continue the discussion. That's not lying. Come on now.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. But I got a thing you guys could do. If you guys are actually going to talk about that further, why not make, as a concerted effort, a parsed out graphic with those equations and how they do, so we can just easily reference it, and that way the globe earthers trying to prove their case can reference it, and the flat earthers trying to prove their case can reference it, and that way both of them can actually know the numbers that it's off at 10 miles, 100 miles, and 1,000 miles. How about that? Is that cool?
Sure.
Endeavor that you guys can do?
Absolutely. I've been working on a quote unquote paper for a while. It's under review. I have Dandelion and Sporadic overlooking it. Still pending, but I'm more than happy to release that and expand on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll give you a hint, brother. Chris Van Metre already did it. So we actually already have it done, but it's still good for people to do it fresh because that way everyone's skills are fresh and then you can have like a bonding moment with the Clover.
Yeah. Can I send you a copy just so you, if you're interested, if you're at all astute in math? Yeah, I tried pointing that out to Atheist earlier. He said it overestimates it, but like he's biting the hand that feeds him in a way. Well, not necessarily that, but like he's arguing against something that makes it easier for him to work with. Like it's really stupid.
Water drop ban?
Wait, what's underestimated?
The drop.
Or what's super overestimated?
So what I mean is, like, if you go 20 minutes past the hour, put a little screenshot. See that? Yeah. You see the red line B?
Yeah, I saw that a couple times.
Yeah,
I already referenced. Yeah, that was not.
Oh, you're cutting out here.
Yeah. He said it was just over. His graph said it was over. Like.
Yeah. So what I mean by that is, you see the red line; it only drops down to the parabola and not to the actual circle itself. So that distance is to the parabola is smaller than if it would have been to the circle. So when we provide a drop value using this formula, we're providing a number that's smaller than we would provide if we used the actual circle function. So we're basically saying it drops less than it actually would, right? Making it easier for them.
How much less?
Yeah, I think the hot mic is Kingsley. Yeah. Oh, somebody muted him. Good.
What's the actual drop?
0.
No,
Yeah,
but I mean like
good.
Like
if you use a circle function. Yeah. I mean, we can probably do it right on the fly there, right? The function of a circle is well, let me actually, you know what? Let me actually do it. I'm curious.
That's like a math thing. The function is like some sort of.
Yeah, the function of a circle, it's the square root of x squared minus r squared, or r squared minus x squared. Bunch of shit. Hold on, give me a second.
Is that because GPT was wrong, or because?
Yeah, GPT gave two answers. So in the end, we discovered that one of them aligned more with what we would have expected, which is a very small deviation. Whereas the first one, it was like, oh, you're like almost 100% off. So it was like, which one is it? You know?
Right. So what we should see is a slight deviation of like
Yeah.
what was it, the 0.05%? Was that the one that was right? At 6,666
At 1,000 miles. Yeah, at 1,000 miles, that error margin represents like 1.6 something percent.
Yeah, that's wild. That's just like strictly geometric stuff, and doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
So what is it actually, though?
I'm doing it right now. I'm going fast, so forgive me if I make a mistake. I don't think it sounds reasonable. The value I get is minus 128 point something, as opposed to, and this is in mile. Fuck it, never mind. I'm not even gonna try. I don't want to sound like an idiot. I don't want to rush it. Forgive me. Oh yeah, no, that.
No, I'll go.
No, later. Never mind.
I don't even think I was like. we went over the important bits already.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, at 1,000 miles, it looks like on a rough draft.
Satisfied.
Yeah, a rough draft. It looks like it would go down 128 miles over 1,000 miles.
It would go down as much as it went out at 1,000 miles.
Yeah, so that horizontal line, you drop a vertical line from it, like on the graph that I showed you, and that length of that vertical line to the circle from the horizontal line, according to this, is about 128. That's the number I get. I think it's in miles, right? So if I do the 8-inch per mile squared approximation, you get 8 times 1 million. 1,000 miles. So that's in inches. How many inches in a mile? 5,000 something.
It's like tomato or something.
How many?
There's some like rhyme. Tomato. My bad, my device is slow. 63,360.
63,000?
360, yeah.
There you go. Okay. 126. So in one calculation we get 128 something, the other one we get 126 something. Is that really that big of a deal over such a large distance? In terms of percentage wise? It's like what that's it. That's about a 1 point something percent. We're off by 1 or 2 units.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Bingo.
Yeah, so since it's not measured at all when they argue over these tiny little amounts, it's just very silly because it doesn't help their argument at all. It's just an excuse to avoid the truth. But I mean, really, just your like run-of-the-mill garden variety globe believer like Junior Atheist, he's been done a disservice because he watched some video that said it was a parabola and it was wrong, or he watched some video that said ships go over the horizon. He's a Bill Nye fan, He thought these guys had his back, and then he comes in here. It's like, oh, they want facts, evidence, calculations. What's going on here? Thought these flat earthers were dumb. So yeah, I mean, you guys all did a great job. Says who isn't here anymore, but I was takedown of that dude, whether he realized it or not.
The sun.
Yeah.
What?
Okay,
Globe
I'm
Comedy Hour.
gonna.
It's a Globe Comedy Hour now, I guess. Is that what's
my
happening?
thing is like if flat earthers never flown to another country or something, or
No,
flown around.
no, they've never done anything ever.
Wait, I have a genuine question. Okay, this is a genuine question for the fly. Okay, this is.
my
Oh my God.
Roblox coffee.
I have a genuine question for the fly earthers. Something
Yeah, you
that might
guys,
be
hold
real-
on. You guys should have worked. You guys should have worked out ahead of time, like who was going to be your main speaker, because all you
I
talk
have a
at once
question.
is
I don't
not
know who
gonna.
that. I don't know who that
Yeah,
guy is.
I'm
He
sure
I
doesn't
don't know who
you
these
don't. I'm
guys
sure
are.
you don't.
I'm gonna ask you a
All right,
question.
well,
Oh my God.
who's
Can I ask
it
a
gonna be
question?
then? Who's it gonna be? It's
I
Master.
don't know him.
R.
Can I just ask a question?
That's
All
okay.
right.
I'll take up the burden.
Go for it.
I'll take up the burden.
Okay,
Thanks.
so this is a question
So
that
this is a question that I
I
have.
want to hear. I want to hear Master. I want to hear the Master.
This is a
Go for
question
it.
that my Euro sister can answer. If the Earth is flat, why is there a horizon line that things like ships and airplanes can disappear over? Does it make sense if the Earth is flat?
Yeah, so there's no evidence. That is a common misconception perpetuated by a man who makes money by lying to children, Bill Nye, as well as others, that ships disappearing, that they disappear over the horizon, for one thing, that it would be the first claim, and that this supposed phenomenon happens because of Earth curve. Whereas, in fact, if you are at the shore and you're watching a ship and you think that it's disappearing, it's actually not disappearing at all. It's going outside of the natural limitations of your human vision. And if you had a high-powered zoom camera, telescope, or even binoculars, you could bring that ship back into your view, thus showing and demonstrating that indeed the ship never did disappear over the horizon, just disappeared from the bottom up due to angular resolution and the limitations of the human eyeball. The most serious globe believers, if you really want to be a globe defender, just leave that one in the dust, because nobody really even thinks that's proof of curve. I know if you Google it, it might come up, but it's a joke. All right. So there you go. Any questions?
I have
Do
two
you have evidence of
questions.
this? Do you have actual documented evidence of this, or is it just your claim?
Yeah, I mean, I've done it myself. I've brought the ship back into view. With a high-powered zoom camera after it went out. I mean, if you want a demonstration of it, I can give you, like a visual demonstration of it in the chat. There, are you in the chat? That
I mean, I need some sort of peer-reviewed paper or some sort of academic source.
Okay, well.
It don't exist because it's not how it works. I mean, if you understood,
People don't know. I'm sorry. Excuse me. People, they don't do peer-reviewed papers about things that are just, well-known, easily documented things, such as what I've put there, optics on a flat Earth, about how your eye actually sees. You don't need to have a peer-reviewed paper. I'm not going to have a peer-reviewed paper about, how long my table is. These are just things that you can observe in reality and that are well known and documented the way the human eye works, and that you can bring a ship back into your view after it disappeared from your view.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh my God.
Did you have a question, Void?
I did have a couple questions, but then it's not even worth it.
Oh gosh, giving up so quickly. What a disappointment.
Oh yeah, I'm giving up. So as a pilot, when you're flying, so what do you think? Let's say if I was to fly in a straight direction in a whole way, am I supposed to just go to the edge of the globe and teleport to the other side then? How does that work? As someone who's flown around what is it, 280 degrees of the planet? Did I just like teleport back and forth then or something? How does that work?
Yeah, so you're demonstrating there another misconception about flat Earth, which is that we think that we're just a flattened out globe. Often it's portrayed in many jokes, propaganda, and memes as being a disk flying through space. The controlled opposition organization known as the Flat Earth Society also perpetuates this myth. Whereas, in fact, we reject the fantasy medium of outer space as being an impossibility, and we do not think of the Earth as being just a flattened out globe. Because you even said it right there. You're like the edge of the globe. It was kind of like you're imagining that flat Earth, like everything else you learned about your fake heliocentric globe religion, also applies to the flat Earth. No, we reject your cult of the globe altogether, and we accept the Earth as it actually appears, which is flat and stationary. So it's totally possible to, circumnavigate a shape which is not a globe. The only reason you think that isn't possible is because you were indoctrinated from birth with a globe, and then you think everything else that you've learned about has to occur only on that, when in fact you can circumnavigate many shapes, not just a globe.
Okay, so what's the shape of the Earth then?
What is the shape? Because it can't be a spandex, because then that would have a shadow across the face of the Earth, and that would disprove laws. Okay, so what shape is the Earth?
Yeah, I need a visual representation of what this looks like.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that since, as I mentioned, you've been indoctrinated since birth onto the fantasy globe story, that you would like me to come up with another fairy tale to replace that, so that instead of accepting the world on its own terms, how it actually appears to you, you want me to produce you with a new thing that you can latch onto and pretend that it explains everything. So yeah, it looks like you see it when you walk outside your door, or especially when you go to the ocean. Have you ever been to the ocean, Void?
You're not answering.
Okay.
Well, Kiwi. Okay, you don't like my answer. Kiwi Buzz.
No, I'm fine with it.
There's Kiwi Buzz. Kiwi Buzz.
I will dumb it down. What does it look like from space?
I'll keep saying it.
What does it look like from space? What does it look like from space?
I will answer that question after I tell you that another person, since you didn't like my answer, Kiwi Buzz has given you
no, because you don't
an answer.
You're dumb.
At 44 minutes after the hour. That's what the Earth looks like. Looks like the Earth.
Okay,
yeah,
you're just retarded.
From space.
Yes, you're very retarded.
Oh yeah, is that surprising to you that the Earth looks like the Earth?
Space is fake.
That's not answering what shape it is. You're not answering what shape the Earth is, because you can't.
What does it look like from
come
space?
Up with a shape that represents your ideology, because it goes
thank
against.
You, Void. Yes, I know you. Yes, please keep lecturing me. You're so wise. I know. I'm just a
Are you going to answer my question?
Yeah,
what does it look like
tell me everything, please.
Are you going to keep manifesting? What does it look like from space?
I'm pretty sure this is rage bait, man. This has to.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry. Good job identifying that, though. Good job.
Okay, so what is it like from
anyway, look from space. Good question. There's been so many conflicting reports, Master. Do you like the pictures that show the horizon as flat and stationary, like the one that Kiwi Buzz put in there, which is from China's astronauts and their spacewalk, showing the Earth is completely flat and stationary? Or do you prefer the CGI compilations as given by NASA, as explained on NASA.gov, how they don't actually go up and take a snapshot of Earth the way you think they do? They create the image for you on their computer. Oh, please name the fallacy. By all means, name the fallacy and your evidence.
You're assuming I came here with a presupposition. You're assuming I came here with a presupposition that you believe in one thing. I'm simply asking you for a visual representation of what a flat Earth looks like from space, and you have yet to produce it.
Kiwi Buzz, why are you so against Kiwi Buzz? He's producing everything you asked for, 45 minutes after the hour. Are you not in the side chat, Master? I'll tag you in there.
I'm looking. What does it look like from space? Show me a lookout from space. The same way we have
He just showed you. He just showed you, babe. 45 minutes after the hour, China's Shenzhou 14 astronauts complete second spacewalk. There it is. That's what the Earth looks like from
space. And you think that's showing almost all of the Earth, that little spot right there? Okay, yeah, y'all just retarded. I see why y'all are not taking
Okay.
seriously
Oh,
about
yeah.
any academia.
I know. Yep. You're so much smarter than me. Yep. So
Well,
if
this
you
is why
go
you
through
can't get a
life
job.
like
Please stop
this, yep.
talking.
Yeah,
Your
that's
voice is
right.
annoying. Holy
Absolutely. Oh,
shit.
thank you
Does anyone
so
have an actual
much.
scientific
Thank
discussion?
you,
This dude can't
Master.
even tell me any sort of physics. So does anyone have an actual discussion besides this dumb bitch?
Yeah. And
Anybody?
he wants to talk to somebody else.
Anybody want to
Anyone?
produce an actual
It doesn't.
full flat Earth
I don't
image?
think anyone can, because if they understood science, they'd understand that every atom's vibrating. If we don't have a constant fluctuating, like rotation of the Earth and the way that it's formatted as a circular object, that the world would literally explode. It's like I don't understand how they can come up with
Oh,
these
Void.
shapes
Come on,
that don't
Void. Does this
make
work?
any
Like when you go to
sense.
parties,
Well,
does
her
this get the
showing me
chicks
a
when you
picture from
tell
outer
them
space
that
that covers
atoms
literally like
can't vibrate
a
unless the Earth
20th of the Earth's
rotates? Is
surface
that what
just
you
tells me
told
she's
me,
retarded.
No,
Void?
this is such
So,
rage bait. No, I figured this out. Like, oh my god, no, this is funny.
no, well, I just like saying that flat
No,
earthers are
I
retarded. It's
need
fun to
Void's
say.
claim. I need Void's claim to be repeated. I'm sorry.
Because
Stop
like no
interrupting
one
him.
takes them
He's
seriously in the
told me
scientific
that
community, which is why they can't get
atoms
jobs.
will. Oh,
So
no one takes Void seriously. I believe you. Yeah, because he told me that atoms only will vibrate if the Earth is rotating. Is that what you told me, Void?
In a
wow.
format. If it's not, oh my god, oh,
Congratulations, helioskeptic. That's what we call
Please
a
repeat.
horizon line.
Please
That's what the
repeat.
scientific community has been calling the horizon line for
Oh,
like
your buddy won't
3,000
let you
years.
talk.
You're late,
Sorry,
buddy.
Void. Is he the one that gets all the chicks at
Congratulations.
the party with the globe,
See, this
love?
is
Does he
this
bring
is
his plushy
actually
globe
so
to the party and hug it?
This is just off of their presupposition that they don't have to take science. But of course, they can't actually produce physics of their own. They can't produce how we're able to actually spin around the sun without everyone flying off the surface of the earth, mathematically speaking. It's
No,
just,
I have
oh
a
my God.
question. So, do you own a telescope, or have you ever been to like a place where you have seen outer space? Because if you look, why are all the other planets or stars or a lot of the different structures circular? Or like, for example, why is the moon circular? Or do you have another take on that
Oh,
maybe
I
it's
have
a
another.
disk?
Well, no, okay, I'll ask this idiot a question,
Void, I'm
actually.
sorry that your
This is a
friend
pretty,
keeps
actually, simple
interrupting
question.
you. Void was asking a question, Master. Why are you so rude to him?
All right,
Poor
okay.
Void.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you. So, okay. For example, for on Jupiter, why can we not see the big red spot every night if it's flat?
Wow, Master. So you don't like you're over there yelling fallacies, but you think that's a logical question to ask me? The Earth where we live, and you're looking up into the sky, and you're asking me why you can or cannot see anything up there. How does that connect to
Yes, is
the
Jupiter
place where
flat?
we
Or is it just
actually
the Earth?
live?
Is it just the Earth that's flat? Everywhere else is spherical except for us.
Okay, so try to calm down a tiny bit. So, as we talked
Can
about
you
at the
answer the question,
beginning,
bro?
I'm trying to. You don't really have
It's a
a
yes or
lot.
no. It's
You
literally a
don't
yes
have
or no.
a really long attention span, do you? Right? You're just here for what?
It's
The
a yes or no.
gotchas?
Because you can't
Because you
produce an
don't
actual
answer
image.
questions and
You're
yes.
just a retard. That's why everyone makes fun of y'all. Like literally.
Thanks. Yeah,
No,
okay,
just
Master. Yeah, it's fine. Like if you really need that, like you have been bullied in your life, so you need to find someone to bully. You felt like
Well, I'm a
flat
6 year
earthers
old
are the
college
one
athlete.
for
I'm not used to
you.
that, dumbass.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you found, what you're looking for. So if you're ever
Okay,
interested in
yeah.
like
I can't stand her voice.
finding,
It's so
yeah,
fucking annoying. Holy
I
shit.
know. I'm so
I feel like
glad
I'm
to
talking to
annoy
an
you.
NPC in
Yeah, that
Oblivion.
makes me really happy. Yeah, thank you,
Bro is
dear.
literally an NPC that you literally just like kill in the middle of fucking Whiterun in Skyrim.
Yeah,
Holy
too
shit.
bad you can't do that. Too bad I'm still here. But you can
Like,
always
bro has
leave.
all of the dialogue options
Yeah,
turned
I'd
on.
rather
You're just like
talk to
skipping through
Void.
them. Like, you
I'd
can't
totally
stand
rather
it.
talk to Void if you want to leave, Master. That'd be
Like, you're
cool.
literally just like repeatedly
Yeah.
pressing spacebar, enter, whatever you have the
Yeah, your
freaking hotkey as.
sidekick's
You're like, bro,
way
shut the
more
fuck up.
impressive than you. Your sidekick is like way more impressive than you. I feel like he has a few more brain cells.
Hold
what is
on.
the sophistication?
Let's.
So,
Okay, wait. Are
Void.
they gonna.
I want to talk to Void. Void, could you repeat your question, please, before he interrupted
So
you?
if you're looking into space, okay, a lot of the other planets, or all of the other planets, are spheres. Or is that not true? Or are they also disks that we can only see? But if that's the case, how can we see them in a one-dimensional space? So basically, I'm asking, are all the other planets spheres, or are they considered quote-unquote flat too?
Yeah, okay. So many things there. One, we are not a disc. I thought I already covered that, but I can cover it again. We
No, I
don't
know,
claim
but
a
then
disc. We don't claim a disc. That's something you might have seen in kind of a joke meme or propaganda that you've seen about what flat Earth is, you have now arrived at a place where you might actually find the information, the facts, and the logic that demonstrate that the drop over distance predicted by the sphere is never actually measured in reality. So, if you're interested in that information, you can hang around. You might get to it, but I'll answer your question first. We don't claim a disk, so we don't look up in the sky, and we don't equate ourselves with the objects in the sky, because this is I get it. You asked the question, but you don't want to hear the answer. Is that
But
what
you don't
it
give
is?
the answer. That's the thing. You just
Yeah. So are you used to people like, yeah, but your question requires a lot of parsing because many of the premises of your question are faulty. All right. Because when you said, are the other planets disks like Earth, would imply that we think the Earth is a disk. So that's why your question, because it's faulty, requires more exposition. All right. So we do not claim a disk. In fact, we do not equate ourselves as being in the same category as the wandering stars, aka the planet. In fact, this is a relatively modern phenomenon in history. Relatively modern phenomenon in history. To even call the Earth a planet is very new in the scheme of things. For example, Gustav Holst's The Planets Symphony did not include Earth as a planet because no one thought that it was a planet. Because the word planet, comes from the ancient Greek word for wandering stars. The Earth is clearly not a wandering star. It is not a star at all. So for that reason, we do not equate the Earth with the planets, and so we do not make comparisons between them as if they were the same.
Okay, so you're saying you consider them as they are then? You're not saying that there's something else? You're not saying that what we consider them is a fallacy?
Well, I mean, it depends. Like your buddy there asked me or maybe it was you, one of you asked me if I had a telescope. Yeah, I have a telescope. I've looked up in the sky. I've seen the wandering stars. I'm aware of what they look like with the telescope that I have. And I'm also aware that what I see when I look up in the sky with the telescope is much different than the artistic renditions that you will see on NASA.gov, in some fancy planetarian show, on the Discovery Channel. All of those are animations and artistic renditions of what the wandering stars are. So yeah, I don't accept these artistic renditions because many of these claims have never been verified and cannot be verified because we have not gone to that location, because the claims of going to that location, such as Mars, are highly suspect and cannot be verified to actually have happened. So we accept the wandering stars as they appear in the sky. We see that they move across the sky. We see the sun moves across the sky, and we see the moon moves across the sky, and we observe and experience that the Earth does not move and is flat and stationary just as it appears, which is what your experience has been since birth. It's only because somebody told you, oh, there's some big trickery going on. It seems like it's not moving at all. You never see any curve. You never have seen a globe except for in these artistic renditions of CGI and Photoshop, but and on your boob tube TV screen. But, really it's secretly this way, but only we with the secret globe cult knowledge can go to this secret place. So don't think that the way you experience reality is real. We're going to tell you what your life is and what your experience is and what your worldview should be. Yeah, boy, because you've been indoctrinated into the globe cult since birth. But now that you've come to the right place to get some actual information about how the drop over distance that would be expected from a sphere, which is 8 inches per mile squared, roughly, meaning that objects that were 20 miles away would be obscured behind 266 feet of drop, and yet we routinely have observations and laser tests that are showing and demonstrating that this drop over distance is not actually experienced in reality. That's what the flat Earth is. So whatever you think it was before, whatever your buddy's going to tell you tomorrow, they're just trying. They're trying to keep you small, and you have a chance of doing something better with your brain.
So your whole argument about the planet is that it's like this. I guess it's. I didn't see the image of the shape. What exactly? I need to see. What's the image of the shape that you guys think the world is? Then, where can I find
Thank you
that?
for having no image. Thank you. You now have no image in your mind whatsoever. So, what I'd like you to put in your mind, did you say you had or had not ever been to the ocean?
I live on the ocean. I live at the ocean.
Oh, amazing. Maybe that's why you have a few extra brain cells, because you might have gone out and you might have looked, at the ocean and seen how the horizon's totally flat. The water's totally flat. It's as flat as the eye can see. If you go out in a boat, at no point does the earth start to curve.
Why does the Earth?
And no point does the water start to curve. It's flat, isn't it? That's the earth. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. It's flat. That's what you've observed and experienced. I know, that's funny, isn't it? Yeah. That the earth could be the thing that you experience it to be. Yeah. Which is flat and stationary. It's pretty wild.
So, what branch of flat earther are you then? So I can Google what you visualize the Earth to be.
Oh, I'm the void branch. Yeah. I dedicate myself. I've been waiting for 5 years for you to show up so I could cater my argument just to you. Yeah. It's called the void branch of flat earth.
Huh. And oh my god.
I know, that's pretty funny, wasn't it? I wanted to laugh too, but needed you to laugh first.
So then, is there no visual so you don't have like any visual interpretation of what the Earth looks like then? Because I can't find anything online about
It
your
looks,
branch.
yeah, you can't find anything about my branch. Yeah, it looks like what Void sees when he goes to the ocean. Yep, that's what it looks like.
No, no. So you don't answer the question then. What is the Earth's shape then? So could you give me an image of what the shape looks like, or could you give me like a graph, spatial sheet, so I could understand it geographically at least?
Oh my. Anyway, so did you see my post that I tagged you in at 57 minutes after the hour, the flat Earth observations?
No.
Okay, well,
Can't say I did.
can you see the chat? Can you go into the chat and look at that?
Oh no, actually, okay. Let me look.
Yeah. Yeah, so you click on that link, and so this is a small sampling of the different flat Earth observations. So I bet you did well in your math class. Do you usually get an A in math?
Well, I have straight A's in every class.
I guessed that right. Good for me. Yeah, so in your math class, did you take geometry?
Of course I did.
Yeah, and did you do proofs in there? Because some geometry teachers these days don't do proofs anymore. Did you do them?
I did proofs.
Good, that makes me happy. Okay, so you understand the concept that a faulty mathematical conjecture can be disproved with one counterexample, right?
In certain cases, not that many have been instituted or ever even happened. I would love. Wait, let me look at this.
Oh gosh, he's really worried. He doesn't want me to lead him down a trail. He won't even answer like a very simple question that if he got all A's, he knows it's true.
Yeah, but you never answered the question either.
Yeah. So if the globe is a sphere with a radius of 3,959 miles, then the 8 inches per mile squared will be the predicted drop over distance, and yet we don't actually observe that in reality. And in fact, we have not only one counterexample to that claim, but we have thousands of claims that we have thousands of counterexamples that demonstrate that this geometry is actually not displayed in the world where we actually live. Right? It's only in your fantasy TV globe world. Yeah, so you can look at some of those. Yeah, like the one I near and dear to my heart is Chicago skyline. Halfway down there, you can see 53-mile distance. You can see Chicago skyline across Lake Michigan. The estimated max is 223 feet. There's a lot of different observations of the Chicago skyline, most of them done by a photographer named Joshua Nowicki. Sometimes he takes them from the shoreline. I've viewed it from the shoreline myself. They give him a max of 223 feet because that's the highest dune in Warren Dunes, where he does take a lot of his images. So, anywho, the target height, which would be, the skyscrapers in Chicago, 1,453 feet. Globe prediction, we have the horizon distance. That's a whole other thing. We didn't even talk about the horizon yet, but we can since you're so good at math. And the globe predicted hidden by the horizon. So we see the skyline of the city of Chicago across Lake Michigan, and we would not see that if we were on a globe with a radius of 3,959 miles. I'll put an image in here of this is Joshua Nowicki's image. We use it because he's not a flat earther. He's just a guy who likes taking cool photos because it's really, really cool that you can see it across Lake Michigan. But, I've seen it myself on multiple occasions. This is what we're talking about. So, where you are, you're living on the ocean, you could either look at this chart. There might be, depending on where you are, one of these observations that is close to where you live, or you could just, look on Google Maps or your favorite map application. Find an object, whether it be a lighthouse, an oil rig, a buoy, an island, a city, and see how you can look at the globe curve calculators. I'll give you a link to one of those, and you can put in your observer height, the distance of the object, and then see how far behind the alleged curve of the Earth that it should be, and then find out if you are seeing that object, if you actually should be seeing it, or if it should be hidden behind the alleged curve. That's the whole gist of the argument there. There's one of the Earth curve calculators, so you can make your own observations there at your ocean. I put the link in there for you.
I still want to see what the objective viewport, what you guys see the world as, what the shape it could be, though. I'm trying to do a 3D model based off what I'm seeing online. I still can't get an actual rough estimate of what you see the world's shape to be as, though.
Why does it upset you that the Earth is just the realm that you experience? You feel like you need to know everything. Do you think humans can know everything, Lloyd?
I get it. You guys can't give it an objective shape because the whole ideology that you're creating would falsify that. Okay, that makes more sense.
No, that's not what I said. So how about if you don't come to a conclusion that's different than what I actually said? How about if you don't do your, skip 5 stages ahead and give your you guys this, you guys that? Why don't you actually talk to the person who's right in front of you? I'm pretty sure I asked you a question and then you jumped right to analyzing me and telling me what I thought. I was trying to find out what you thought.
The question you're asking is, why do I have to see something? Why do I have to know everything? And why, if you're asking me that question, it could be the same thing for you. Why does it matter so much what the shape of the Earth is, and why does that matter so much? That's basically what you asked me. So can I not ask that to you? I mean, you've obviously spent a considerable amount of your life invested in something that's basically meaningless. I mean, the whole argument for why you think it's covered up, a lot of you at least, is to make money, which is really counterintuitive. There's just so many things and aspects here that are really, really meaningless to answer your question. I guess there is no real reason to know or not to know, so it's just a waste of time, is it not?
Yeah, okay, well, gosh, so many things in there. I forgot what the question actually was. What was the question? Why does it matter? Is that the question?
A question. You asked me, why does it matter that I have to know it's a tangible thing? So I'm asking you, why does it matter?
Yeah, why does it matter that that children are being indoctrinated?
We're breaking off because we can't answer the question. Lovely.
Oh, really? Was I breaking up? I thought I was answering you. What are you saying, breaking off?
Breaking off. You started going about kids being indoctrinated because you have a bias, calling my bias, which is just you being inherently wrong, but okay.
So my answer, you're asking me why it matters to me. I'm telling you why it matters to me. And you're telling me you don't like my answer, so you're just going to shut it down. Why did you ask me then?
Wait, my bad. Try to answer then.
I'm not going to try to answer. I am going to answer. It matters to me because I think it is wrong and it's an injustice that children are being indoctrinated into a cult belief that was started by the cult of Pythagoras, the ancient Greeks, who decided they liked spheres. They thought they were perfect shapes, so they just philosophized. They were just sitting around shooting the breeze. That's the way I look at it. And they're like, hey, we like spheres. Maybe they'd found some hallucinogenic plants in the forest or something. I don't even know how it started, but they just wanted it to be that. So they said it was with no evidence. That was way back in the ancient Greek time, right? And then in the last 100 years, they've really ramped up the indoctrination into this global cult so that children are being indoctrinated into a religious belief against their will from birth without their consent, and they become incapable of rational thought. And I think one of the great hallmarks of humankind is their ability to use their will and rational thought to shape their own world and to hopefully improve the world of others. So I feel like this birthright of humankind is being stolen from us and from you and from everyone. That's why I care.
Okay, but still, going back to my original question then, so you don't think the Earth has a tangible shape then?
No, why would I think that? Am I God? Am I omniscient? I know you want to think, I mean, because your God, I'm sorry to tell you this, is, this heliocentric model and those proponents of it who try to pretend to you that they are omniscient, that they can know all, that they can explain everything, right? That's what they tell you. That's why I asked you if you thought humans could know everything. That's why I asked you that. Because you're asking me to now pretend that I know everything. And I know that it's not possible for a human to know everything. So I'm not going to pretend that I can step outside of the earth and explain all things to you. And I would like to challenge you, Void, to allow yourself to be an actual person who is by their nature imperfect, but always striving to become better and prove themselves, realizing they will never actually be omniscient, and that humankind as a society can also never be omniscient.
I'm not asking about knowing everything. I'm asking you. So you genuinely think the Earth does not have a tangible form, that there's no shape to the Earth.
Why are you dictating to me? Like, why is that so shocking to you? Have you? Yeah, I have not seen the whole Earth.
So if you think that, then how do you make it applicable to?
No one has seen the whole Earth.
Okay.
Great.
How do I?
Wait, can I ask a question? If there's a pancake, right? Why is it that we look at other planets and we see that they're not pancakes?
Void, do you want to tell them why they're not pancakes?
No, I already asked her this question. Her whole thing is that it's not applicable, because that makes so much sense. I guess.
What do you mean it's not applicable? Because
we're not a pancake, King. Yeah, we're not a pancake. We don't think we're a pancake.
Earth's not flat.
No, they don't. So listen, these people are crazy. She thinks that the Earth is not, like, it doesn't have a tangible form. So this brings the flat earthers. They think it's like a cloud of dust that's like unmanifestable. They think it's like kind of realm of like mental reality, which it makes no sense because they don't dictate it by fact. Yet they try to use fact to prove it. So this is more of a religion, less than a
Wait, so the Earth is like just a sphere? Like
Void, what a disappointment! I'll give you a D- just so I don't have to have you in class next year. But yeah, you failed. You failed.
Yeah, see, they can't come up with any systematical argument.
Yeah, well, I guess I wasted my breath.
No,
I mean, like, I guess it's an exercise,
Why is your
maybe it was useful to someone.
I personally agree it is flat, so yeah.
Well, why?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
If the Earth's flat, if the Earth's not flat, why do you call it flat Earth then?
No, King. It's not that we're saying it's not flat. We're saying it's not a pancake. Are all flat things pancake?
Not necessarily, but it's roughly like the pancake, more or less, right?
No, it is not a pancake. A pancake has a thickness. I mean, orthographically, there was an article in a.
Have a thickness.
No, because
what do you think the thickness is? What do you think the thickness is? You can stop answering him now, Void. I gave you a chance to restate what I'd said, and you completely missed the mark. I just told you got a D-.
Are these people real or just a bias?
I know it's the first time you gotten a D- in your life, but take the L. Maybe study harder next time.
Oh my
God!
Wait, are these people real? This can't be real, right?
No, this is a religion. Like this is kind of like a cult almost.
You have like a challenge
to put it, it's not built in logic. It's systematic. It's like, I don't know.
Wait, so the Earth doesn't have a thickness?
I might fail you just so I can have you back next year because you do entertain me, Void. King, what?
Does the Earth have a thickness?
No, the deepest hole that's ever been dug into the Earth, King of Babylon, is 7.6 miles. And then the equipment failed, and they were not able to dig any further than that. So I'm not able to confirm for you any thickness deeper than 7.6 miles. Clearly, it is deeper than that, right? That's not the limit.
8 miles.
They were trying to go further. No, it's way deeper than that, King. So deep. It's not a disc.
What is it then? I'm confused. I'm lost.
They consider it like a realm. I think that's the best way to put it, bro.
Okay, boy, I'm going to give you a D for this monkey period. Did you hear him? Say it again. He didn't hear that. Yeah, say it again.
He's funny. Oh my god.
He said it was a realm, King of Babylon. Did you hear that? It's a
Is that
realm.
what you
Yeah.
said?
Yeah, what do you think of that? Yeah, a realm. It's a realm. What do you think of that?
I want to know what you think about the Earth.
Yeah, I just said it was a realm. That's what Void said. I agree with him.
That it's a realm.
No, I'm saying that's what you guys. That based on
I
what
know.
you
I'm
told
just
me or the
messing with you.
logic
Now you deserve to be
presented,
messed
that's what
with.
you think.
Took you seriously at first. I even advocated for you against that ridiculous jerk. He's not seriously your friend, is it? That master guy? What a loser! Don't hang out with that dude anymore.
Well,
yeah, he's rubbing off on you.
So tell me, can you describe to me like the shape of the Earth?
The shape of the Earth. Yep, they're obsessed with that. They don't like my answer. I don't know if anybody else wants to answer, but yeah, we're not giving it a shape. Like I don't know, like why you guys are obsessed with shapes. I get it because you're obsessed with balls. You really want it to be a ball. Like we're told it was a ball. You had your little, you had your little solar system mobile over your bed. You got your rocket ship bed with your solar system mobile. You got your plushy globe.
What?
I know. You got your NASA T-shirt. I understand.
Chill monkey, check your DMs.
What in the fuck are you talking about, lady? We literally observe the space. We see spheres everywhere.
Check your DMs.
Hold on, dude. So that's easy.
I don't know mine. I think it's like
hold on. Yeah, hold on, homie.
Oh, dude, that guy doesn't. Go ahead.
Yeah, you just found a perfect answer.
I feel
to
bad
your
making
question.
fun of you because I think you're actually meant to be retarded based on your.
Okay, no,
Crit is speaking. I think they can hear you, Crit. I can hear you.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. You just said we have photographs from space. Perfect answer. I'm not part of that we that has photograph from space. I've never been to space. I've never taken a photograph of Earth from space. If you have, and you are part of that we, now you would have to try to convince me that your photograph is real. But what you've done is convinced me it's not, because you're just an idiot. Just an idiot with an internet connection.
An idiot. So now let me help you understand, buddy. So not only can we observe the spheres, right? We look at telescopes, right?
Remember, no we.
But you don't wait up. You could go buy a telescope right now.
Remember, no we.
Yeah, you could go physically and buy a telescope, but you don't, because instead.
Okay, so I don't buy a telescope. Okay, good. So what else next? Next one.
The second thing is
the first one's out. Okay,
right?
so number two.
But so not only do we observe, forget about the photo.
No, remember no we.
But we know.
There's no we here.
I understand your brain is.
So number two.
Yeah.
Number
you're
two's
overloaded
out
right now.
So try number three.
IQ.
Yeah, I get it. You're having a very hard time grasping the concept.
You sound like you have a speech
There
impairment,
is no we.
Yeah, you have a list for something.
Okay, yeah, so then you're triggered by that. So that's a sign of OCD.
I'm not triggered by anything. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you are. Most people don't even notice it.
No, Lots of people have a lisp, so what? I feel bad making fun of you.
So now you feel bad about it.
Shut it, King. We don't want to hear your commentary.
So number one and number two are out. Do you have a number three, or are you done?
Yeah, so we look.
Or number three was just talk about my list. Okay, number four.
Right.
Okay, number four.
What ends up happening is that
okay, number four. No, you're stuck.
We see the light.
We're already
no. We see how light bends.
No photo.
We know that things are spheres.
Okay, now you went back into a loop. Okay, you're supposed to be on number four.
You don't let him speak. You don't even let him speak.
Yeah,
so
people
what? Like you are so inadequate. I don't understand how your existence.
So what? So call your mom.
Anything like.
So call your mom.
Okay.
Call your mom.
Actually,
okay. So number one was no photograph from space.
Yeah.
Number two was you buy a telescope to look at Earth, but you said I won't do that, so that one's out.
Look at Earth? Is that what I said?
Yeah. Number three is I have a list. So what's number four? What you got? What's number four?
Yeah. No, I get it.
Number four, you give up. You just give up.
Yeah. Do you have like
all right? Give up.
A deficiency of sorts? Like, are you?
Same answer as before. All right. Who's next? Adam.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You want to give it a shot? This guy. I gave him. I picked 3 softballs.
Are you saying that?
And he whiffed each one of them. Okay. What you're up? What do you got?
Wait, Crit. Do you agree with Dandelion?
We'll just go with yes. I agree with Dandelion.
Okay. So are you guys saying you don't know what the planet looks like?
What planet looks like?
Like our planet, what?
Yeah. Well, no, I know a planet, a wandering star, is a light in the sky.
No, our planet.
what? No, there's no our planet. There's Earth, and that's
Yeah, our
it.
planet.
Yeah, that's not a planet, dude. That's Earth.
It's not a planet. All right.
What?
Yeah, Babylon.
Okay. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Since you're an idiot. Okay, a
You know
planet. What's a planet? Maybe use
like
your
a
word.
big circle in space, bro.
Okay, and you've seen Earth as a big circle in space?
Yeah.
Okay, so where are you from? Are you from Venus? Are you from Mars? You know, what planet, what alien life form are you that you've looked up in the sky and saw Earth in the sky? When did you do that?
What do you mean?
Okay, you said Earth. You said a
Well,
planet.
I can't like look up the sky because I'm on here. Like I've looked down.
Yeah,
You know.
so Earth is not in the sky. Earth would be on the ground.
Well, it is in the sky.
It's in the sky now. Okay, so where are you from? Are you from Mars? Venus? Are you from Uranus? Where are you from?
Yo, what?
Okay, you said you looked up, you're on something, you looked up and saw Earth in the sky. So that would say you're not from Earth, you're from someplace else, and Earth was a faraway planet in the sky. So where are you from? I'm just curious. Are you a Martian? Are you a Jovian? Are you from Jupiter? Are you a Jovian? Where are you from? What planet
Are you
are you
asking
from?
about my ethnicity?
No, not at all. I'm asking about your planet of origin. Is it Earth or not Earth?
Yeah, it's Earth. Obviously, what?
Okay, so you didn't see Earth in the sky. You're from Earth, and Earth would be beneath
No.
your feet.
I seen it in the sky, bro.
Okay, yeah. Where are you from? Okay, just move on to the next one. Oh, who's the guy? Void, you want to try again, or are you just going to freak out too?
No, I would. So you guys think that since the Earth is like, okay, you say I'm obsessed with shapes. Maybe I am.
I didn't say
So I'm
anything
gonna
about
ask
you.
you-
Yet. I just knew
Yeah,
that was
that was the
audio
other
came out, so I jumped in. You know, maybe I came in like a bulldozer, like a wrecking ball. But all right, let's go ahead. So don't.
Yeah,
worry
I said that. I probably said that. Yeah,
Okay.
I did
So
say that.
let me restart. Let me restart from scratch. I'll try to be respected. My bad. So
Yeah, so you're
first
obsessed
off,
with
you
shapes.
guys-
Number one.
Okay. So thank you for interrupting me. I appreciate it. So do you?
Yeah,
think
no
the Earth
problem.
has a
Anytime.
collective? Do you think the Earth has a collective shape?
Yeah, it's not good. It is very bad shape. We've got garbage patches in the South Pacific. We got landfills that are leaking into groundwater supplies. We got open uranium pits and, you know, oil spills off Santa Barbara. Yeah, it's definitely in very bad shape. Like that, it's not good. It's really not good. The outlook is not. You got global climate change. You got floods in Texas. So yeah, the environment that I live in, which I call Earth, that environment, the condition of it is very poor. It's very out of shape. Much like much like your mouth or your teeth. You know, like go get that checked out.
Like your brain, for example. Yeah.
And
Okay.
your
So do
brain
you
too,
think the
because
Earth has
your
an
mouth is
actual
connected
shape?
to your whole body health. So if once you get your mouth taken care of, maybe you'll start feeling better. You know, mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Yeah. So again, if you could maybe actually answer my questions, do you think?
Yeah,
the
I
Earth
just
has an
did.
actual shape?
Very
Like an
bad
actual
shape.
shape.
It's out
A
of shape.
tangible shape. A geographical
It's not
shape.
very
okay?
healthy.
A geographical
Yeah.
shape.
It's
Yeah, this
not
is
very
rage-
healthy.
This has to be rage bait. You guys just don't
Yeah.
make any sense whatsoever. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So now that you think it's rage bait, follow your own logic. What should you do next? Should you hit disconnect or sit here and think you're getting baited? Because I just gave an answer to your question. The problem is you're not healthy. You're not healthy mentally. You're not healthy spiritually. And you're not healthy physically.
If you don't mind me asking, since you say religiously, are you religious?
No.
Then why do you say religiously?
Spiritually, mentally, physically. Yeah, you're probably very sick religiously too. Like when these astronauts tell you "God bless America," you're probably thinking like you're upset by that. How dare these astronauts tell me "God bless America" and God bless you, the current director of Bill Nelson. You know, he used to be an astronaut, statesman. Now he's the director of NASA. He says "God bless America" and "God bless you," and you probably think he's rage baiting you. Go ask him. Go ask him what's the shape of the planet. And then they'll ask you, like, what? What do you mean planet? Which planet are you talking about? Earth? Earth's not a planet.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you again. Do you think the
It's going
Earth
to be the
has
same
geographic
answer.
shape?
The
Because you're not
same
going to answer me. Do you
the
know what
same
geography
answer.
is? Do you know what geography
Yeah,
is? You know,
the ground is not in very good shape. Okay, it's not in very good shape at all.
What's this? What is this? I have to be getting like clip phones or something.
Hello? Hello?
What does the word flat mean? Is that an adjective or a noun?
I don't know. What is that?
Well, it's a problem, isn't it?
Noun?
The word flat would be a noun?
Yeah.
So when someone says flat earth, that's a noun? That's two nouns right next to each other?
What's that?
Yeah, that means you're retarded, dude.
I'm not retarded. I'm not.
Yeah, you think a noun is a thing.
So we're talking about the sky, bro.
Okay, so flat and earth, which one's the sky?
Flat?
Flat would be the sky, so the sky is flat?
Yeah.
Okay, so flat, sky, then earth, and then what happens?
What do you mean?
Dude got bricked. That easy. An instant bricking.
Maybe go take a nap, Adam. Come back another time. Try again. It's okay.
Wait, do you agree with them? Yo, milk.
Agree with what?
Crip.
With what? With what? He said a number of things.
Like.
Oh, that you misidentified the word flat as being a noun?
No, not
yeah,
that. Not
that. You pointed that out accurately, yeah.
No, I'm talking about the call, flat Earth.
What the hell are you asking me? Do I agree with what? Do I agree with crit, or are you asking me another question?
Hello?
Are you asking me another question, or are you asking me if I agreed with crit? And with what did he say, are you asking me do I agree with?
What do you mean?
Carlos the Tabarnak. Dude, go take a nap.
He's bricked. This is a break-in.
Tabarnak.
Tabarnak. Come on, bro. Try harder.
What does bricked mean? What do you mean?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so do you have an actual question about the flat earth, Adam, or what's going on up there?
Yeah. What shape do you think the Earth is?
Do you live anywhere near the ocean, Adam?
Nope.
Too bad. Yeah, the earth is just as it appears to you when you walk outside your front door and walk alongside the ground. There it is, the earth. You dig up a hole to plant a flower. There's the earth.
Perhaps irregular, for all we know.
We know it's not a globe. Yeah. Yeah. We know, I mean, the main thing here, I don't know, it's like very frustrating to globe believers, which I tried to explain to Void earlier, but I don't think he really understood what I was trying to say. The main thing here we try to explain is that the geometry of the sphere does not predict the reality of our experience in the place where we actually live. This drop over distance is not observed and not measured. There's no curvature anywhere. There's no reason to think that you live on a spinning globe in the fantasy medium of outer space. That is a total fairy tale that you do believe. I mean, why do you believe it, Adam? Why do you believe in the globe?
Hello?
Yeah, did you hear my question?
Yeah, you said, why do I believe it's a globe?
That's right. That's what I said.
I mean, why would they lie about it being a globe?
You believe in it because you're extraordinarily trusting and don't think people are capable of lying to you? Is that what you're telling me?
But there's no point, though.
And you know that how?
Okay, so I did the math. I can post it in the journal if I get permission, but I'd also like to ask another question then to you enlightened individuals.
If you want to wait a second, Adam
Okay, yeah.
was going to respond to my question.
Wait, say it again, I forgot.
Right, Adam?
Wait, say it again?
I asked you, how would you know that? You said there's no point.
Oh, yeah.
How would you know that?
Well, I don't, but like, there's no point.
Okay, so you don't know that, but you're asserting there is no point, even though you don't actually know that.
Do you think there's a point?
You do acknowledge that you're saying there's no point, even though you don't actually know that there's no point, but you incessantly repeat it to try and catch me off guard or something.
What?
Yeah, you heard me. You say there's no point.
How am I trying to?
You don't. Watch this. Watch this. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You say there's no point. I ask you, how do you know that? You acknowledge that you don't know, but there's still no point. So you don't know that there is no point, and you acknowledge that you don't know that there's no point, but you still say there's no point. Right? Do you think I'm stupid?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So rethink that, and maybe try again, or go, or actually maybe now's a good time for you to go take your nap and come back another time. Try again.
Why do you keep telling me to take a nap, bro?
Because I think you need it. It's quite evident that you could use it.
I just woke up.
Okay, well, you're missing a few hours, probably. I would suggest you do that. Maybe at least try it. Might do you some good. Anyway.
Yeah, So let's talk as if the Earth is not a shape. Then it's, I don't know. What do you guys think it is? A realm? So whatever it is, let's say if you guys can't determine what it is or isn't, what's the point of this argument? So your whole argument is that it's not a sphere, but then you can't give us what it is. So your whole argument is just disproving something and then not telling us what it is. Isn't that like repetitive then?
Not necessarily.
Over?
Not necessarily, right? Because if you describe a shape with a particular surface feature, and you acknowledge that whatever you are standing on does not have that surface characteristic, you can't be on the claimed shape encompassing that surface characteristic. So if you say you're on a ball and it's curving, but you look and it's not actually curving, therefore it can't actually be a ball. So therefore we're left with the question of what is it actually? And by all practical means, as far as I can tell, and most people could tell in here, it's not really determinable as to what the entire shape is. So we're left with just really dealing with the surface feature. That's why we describe it as flat, and then we leave the rest for potentially further exploration if deemed even necessary at all.
So
it's not redundant. It's actually quite logical.
So logically, including the logic, is you take the most natural answer, the most inherent answer, and since that would be whatever the closest shape would be, okay, I guess it doesn't matter because you guys say it's not a shape. So then there's really no point in arguing anything if you're just going to say it doesn't have a shape.
Well, here's the thing. As I stated a second ago, as far as I can tell, and what most people can tell, We don't know the shape. There may be one, but to make a claim as to what that is may be dishonest unless somebody actually has all the evidence to support it. I don't have that. I don't know about anyone in here who does, so it's irrelevant. Topic at hand is the surface feature.
Oh,
Yeah, your math there is totally wrong. I'm sorry. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to stay here, but yeah, he's got some Chat GPT checking math, which is completely wrong at 32 minutes after the hour. I mean, it doesn't even make any sense what you put there. If the Sears Tower, 1,453 feet, if 1,637 feet should be hidden, but the tower is only 1,453 feet tall, it should be entirely hidden. Then you have this claim of standard atmospheric refraction of reducing it by 7%, which I'd like to see your calculations of where you came up with that. Then you've got adjusted hidden height of 1,407 feet, and you put here, so now only the bottom for 1,407 feet is hidden, and the top 46 feet is visible. That's just a complete lie. Most of it is visible. You can see it right there in the images. Yeah, I see you. I know you Chat GPT'd this or whatever you did, but it's completely wrong from beginning to end. I'm just had to say that. I mean, but at least you did something. A lot of people claim they're going to do something, don't actually do it.
So
I mean, Void, you could have at least had the courtesy to format it, don't you think?
I know, I agree.
Let me have a question. So if I'm standing on one side of the world, and let's say I had the most powerful telescope I have, or I have one powerful enough, I should be able to see at the same sea height level across the entire world. Then that's your argument.
You think that? Do you not think that light has a rate of dissipation?
No, that's the whole thing.
What's the term for it? Rate of occlusion rate? Forget the technical terminology. The light spreads out, right? And air is not perfectly transparent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what makes you think you can see forever knowing that?
I'm not. I'm asking you if that's what you guys think.
So no.
So then could that calculation not be off also? Because see, light doesn't actually change a logical fact, though. It wouldn't change the actual
change a logical fact.
Density.
What do you mean by light?
So let's say I have a question. So then basically, if I had a ruler from one point at a sea level and I took it as far as I possibly can across the world to another point, and I dropped it there. Let's say the Earth is. I take it at two height points that are the exact same, so I can measure it without it being abstracted by like mountains or other things. And I take one ruler
like over
to
water.
the side, and for example, over water, and I take it to the other side. Should it be equal then? Should I'd be able to measure it out and have the same exact length? Basically, should it be flat?
Well, not. You mean the same elevation would be the same on both ends, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the elevation should be
right. Well, we got a pretty good one. It's not exactly a ruler, but would you accept a laser?
A laser gets fractured by light, so it's kind of.
Well, at worst, the worst of lasers would diverge sooner. But if you got highly concentrated lasers, right, that don't diverge, like you know what I mean, like the light would cone out as opposed to remain perfectly, cylindrical. Right.
Wait, I have a question.
Hang on, please.
Sorry.
Do you understand that, right, Void? You don't.
Yeah, but all lasers.
I'm speaking to Void, please. Let me finish up. What do you mean by fracture?
So, as I don't know the exact systematical or whatever I would say.
Okay, because fracture usually means break, right? Are you talking about diffract or refract?
No, the fracture. So, for example, I don't know the exact name, but for 3D printing, when you print with lasers, you can get up to a 99% accuracy, but you can't get exact accuracy because lasers can't be formatted perfectly. And it would be the same with that laser. Now, maybe you could get 99% accuracy, but you can't be 100% accurate with the level.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Right? So the laser itself has an overall, the size of the beam, right? There's a width, if you will, to it. So in the case of printing, I mean, you can't get down to, infinitesimal width, right? So of course the thing's not going to come out perfect. But that's not the point here. The point is you have a laser beam. You point it out horizontally from a certain position. it reaches a destination where it would be predicted to have had to go over by a certain number of feet or even miles or whatever above the destination point, right? Where in fact it actually just reaches more or less at the same level as that it was shot at. So imagine like a light ruler, if you will, and it does actually more or less accomplish that.
So then there's a laser from one point to another point at the same height that measures the Earth being flat, having no curvature. Then,
at the very least, you if there is any error in the setup or whatnot, that could be criticized perhaps. But at worst, the results do not conform to what would be expected if we were on a curving surface on a ball with a radius of 3,959 miles. It doesn't match up by like orders of magnitude.
Yes, but at the same time, light fractures other light downwards, creating like what's the systematic term?
So you mean you're talking about refraction, right?
No, let me pull up the
get your argument straight. Get your argument straight, please.
Fracture light. Go ahead and say that, Adam, if you want to. Wait, this makes. It would be in the 0.1 amounts of geographic.
Of what unit?
Pull this up. Let me look up the exact amount of what
you're probably on. Yeah, you're probably on point, right? It would be a decimal depending on what unit you're using, right? Or even in percentages in terms of the radius in miles or something. But you have to provide a unit, right?
Yeah, let me find the exact one so I can, because if I can show you a psychological scale, I mean not psychological, a scientific scale, but you'll probably, let me try to find one that.
No, I understand scientific notation, sir.
Yes, let me pull one up.
Well, I'll save you time, right? The expected drop over distance can be estimated with the function 8 times x squared, wherein x is in miles. Right, so for every mile, right? Perhaps a good way to picture this is, let's say you're lying on a shoreline, right up against the water. Your eyes are right up against the water, and you're looking straight out. Right, for the first mile outwards, the water should drop 8 inches. Okay, and for the second mile, it would be 2 squared times 8. 2 squared, 4 times 8, 32. So after the second mile, it should drop 32 inches. Follow? So there's a non-linear growth in the drop as the distance goes out further and further. So at 28.6 miles, it would be 28.6 squared times 8. If you want to do the math there, you'll get a number in inches. Now you can convert to feet and get an idea of how low below that tangent line, quote unquote, would be. Do you want to do the math, or shall I do it?
I'm doing the math right now.
All right, so 28.6 squared.
Wait, I'm already deep in. Give me a second.
Oh, okay.
If you want, you can answer the person's question. Find it. Just pull this out.
Wait, are you off on a different line of thought already?
No, I'm looking at this laser point because the hidden distance is about 46,000 meters. 2 divided by 2.
Right. Okay. So check this out. Right, just to help you out, I'll expedite the process. So for the 28.6 mile bit, right, you have 28.6 squared times 8. Right. So 28.6 times 28.6. It's 817.96. Multiplied that by 8, you get 6,543.68. That's in inches. If you divide that by 12, that's 545.306 repeating.
Yeah.
Feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
600,
There you go.
545 feet should be hidden by the curve over 286 miles if it was both the laser and the target.
No.
At ground level.
Oh, sir. No, it's worse than that. Over 28.6 miles. Not 200.
No, 28
I know it sounds.
miles. That's what I meant. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
It should be hidden
Right.
over it,
Yeah.
but it's not.
It sounds.
Right?
It sounds absurd. It sounds absurd. But this is what it amounts to. When you think of it in like terms of miles, you have like so many zeros after the decimal point that you think it's insignificant. But when you convert into, more tangible figures, these are readily applicable. 545 feet. What is that? Like fucking 30, 40 story building or something? Whatever. 10 feet per story or some shit?
Yeah, the whole thing is
But
the
you
laser tube.
follow the line of thinking, right?
Yeah, I get it. The math there makes sense, but the whole argument with it, if it's not hidden, I mean, you could say there's no curvature, but at the same time, it would be down to a 0.0001 mark. Because if you pull it back an inch, curvature wise, it should be disappeared. And then if you keep in the same spot, it's not. So did they pull it back? Did they test if they pull it back maybe 10 more feet? Is it there or not?
No. Check this out, right? Yeah. So what I was describing there is not necessarily how much in this particular case should be hidden. I'm talking about in the abstract, how much drop from 28.6 miles it would go down. In this particular instance, I'm not sure how readily available it is to know how high the guy was, but there's another calculation, right? That would tell you how far the horizon should be given the observer's height. Okay, and if we know that the emitter is below whatever value it comes out of some of these manipulations, it should be hidden. Okay, so the horizon, you should expect it to be at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet in miles. So if the guy's 1 foot off the ground, you have 1.22 times the square root of 1. So 1.22 times 1 is 1 mile. The guy's 10 feet off the ground, or let's say 9 feet off the ground, you have 1.22 times the square root of 9, which is 3. 1.22 times 3, what is that? 3.66. Right? Miles. And then beyond that, things would appear to be curving downwards. So that line of sight, from that standpoint, unless the object is high enough, you won't see it, or at worst, you'll see part of it cut off. You follow?
Yeah, but that whole mathematical system only works if the world is a perfect sphere, which there is no perfect sphere because there's ground disfiguration, there's mass pull. We have mountains, we have divots in the sea.
Correct.
So
Correct.
at
This
the
is why
same
we do
time,
it. This is why we do it over water, sir. Because it's the smoothest, right? It's more consistent. It's more widely available. This test can be replicated more widespread, et cetera, et cetera. Now, of course, these are just approximations. Now, if you happen to have something that comes against this, right, I think most of us would be happy to see it.
the whole idea is, though, it could be an abnormality, just like how there's divots in certain spots that can like lower water level to it, not lower it, but keep it more abnormal. It's like, unless this was done, this is basically like this whole mathematical system down across the entire world, it would be impossible to measure whether it's a curvature or not. So
what would you suggest? I mean, like, it would seem to me that you know something, right, that proves to you that we're on a ball. What might that actually be?
Me physically, I can't prove it one way or another. You could say my idea is biased because maybe it is. Same way it could be with your belief. It's like I don't really care whether it's a
not a
circle or
belief.
not. It really doesn't matter. Well, I
Okay,
mean,
so you don't
it
know
does.
actually. So ultimately, you don't know.
can't
Okay,
say
well
I
that's
don't know.
fine. Okay, that's perfect. I mean, maybe we.
Yeah, Mick, but what you don't get is that the lack of evidence is the evidence. Don't you get that?
Well, that's interesting too. Yeah, but the thing is, Void, if you don't know, then perhaps we ought to spend a little bit more time with somebody who does know, or at least does say that they know.
If anyone else
Right.
is here to speak, they should speak then, because yeah, go ahead.
By all means, that's cool. It's good chat. Good chat. I'd encourage you to take a look at those videos, and if you see anything, any anomalies or whatever, take note. Come back. We'll talk about it. I think most of us are all ears for that.
Makes sense.